What's up, my wonderful, amazing, beautiful diamonds? Amazing, wonderful. Yeah, I hear music. I don't know if you do, but I do. Okay. Whenever I start talking about them diamonds, you know what I'm saying? I hear music in the air. Anyway, you're like, why, Doc, are you so excited? I just am. You know what I'm saying? This is just what I do. Hey, listen. Hey, if you are tired of going around your mountain, okay, and you want to get into the promised land, I would start here, okay? If you say, I've had my fill of Egypt, I'm tired of being in bondage, I don't like it, it's no longer working for me, making bricks without straw, it's old, okay? Start here, all right? Get my free book, The Forbidden Secrets of the Goodie Box, which your father didn't tell you and your mother didn't know. Now you're like, what does that have to do with bricks and straw? Well, I'm going to tell you. So relationships, all right? Relationships, you're tired of being frustrated, upset, getting the same thing over and over and over. It's great nuggets in this book, all right, that will help to enlighten you. Information that you were supposed to get from your dad. Moms didn't really know it most of the times, and you're like, okay, I've been making mistakes, but I don't know why. Well, this is going to introduce you to why. So go to my website, ChristopherReid.org, and download the free PDF and the Kindle version if you choose. Okay, I got a nice one today. So, ladies, if you did not know, I want to be the first one to tell you that if you are not willing to lose a guy, you can never, ever keep him. Now that'll preach. Yeah. Sometimes you feel a quickening. You just all up in your whole, you know what I mean? You do. So, yeah, if you're not willing to lose him, you can't keep him. Now, for some of you, you are holding on so tight and you're scared to let this thing go because of what it represents and so much fear, okay? That is totally contrary to what is going to help you in the relationship. He might be in the relationship, but he's not necessarily with you in the relationship. So what I mean by this, ladies, what you have to understand is, as far as fear is concerned, we as men, we can smell fear. We're like, you call us dogs, so canines, right? So whenever we sense fear in the water, then what we realize is this is a situation where there's very low confidence and there's a lot of insecurity. And some men will definitely play on that. So when you come out here, ladies, and I consider this with the analogy of hunters in the jungle and the dating scene. I mean, you got all kind of guys. You got scared guys. You got hurt guys. You got immature guys. All right. So with that being said, you have all these different types of guys that some of them may have potential. All right. But this is the layer, okay, that's on top of that potential. So as you, all right, try to date these guys and get to a committed relationship, and then the end game, right, is marriage for, a lot of you, then this is the terrain that you have to navigate through. And you have to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, okay? So a lot of times, ladies, you have to look at men, you have to look at us like kids. Okay, what do you mean, Doc? Kids. You know how kids will try you. Okay, they're going to see how far they can push things. All right, if you draw the line right here, okay, this is the line. Well, the kids will get like they will touch the line. All right, just especially boys. Okay, and these boys grow up to be men. I want to see. I know what you said. I just need to know, did you mean what you said? Okay. And I have to find out through actions. Words, I don't care about words, but my actions, all right, I'm going to walk up to that line that you told me not to cross. Okay. Here's the line. And he just says, boop, just to see what you're going to do. All right. You know how kids, act a plumb fool when they got a substitute teacher, right? Because she don't know us. I mean, but if that substitute teacher comes in there and lays down the law and lets you know, I don't know if any of y'all seen that skit with Key and Peele when he's a substitute teacher and he come in there like half crazy. You almost got to come in the game half crazy, because they'll try you. And really, ladies, I wouldn't look at this as being, See, why does got that? It's just a part of that process. But it really doesn't matter, because what he does shouldn't have any bearing on what you're going to do. But if you have this mindset that I don't want to make waves, I don't want to make anybody upset, I don't want to give the wrong impression, can't we all just get along? He's not necessarily going to appreciate that. He might not. He could. I don't want to paint the picture that there aren't some guys that are rocking and ready and, marriage and yeah, baby, listen. Now there are some guys out here like that, but not the whole gamut. You're going to meet guys at different stages of this thing. Okay. Doesn't necessarily make it wrong or right. It just makes it what is. But I want to make sure that you, my wonderful diamond, that you are equipped to deal with it. Now, here's the deal. If we're talking about being willing to let him go, okay, or being willing to lose a guy in order to keep him, it doesn't matter what stage, of the dating process that you're in. You have to be willing to do that. And what I mean is this. You can be engaged, okay? The wedding date is on the books. Invitations have gone out. Okay, we're about to have the big day. But if this guy starts, for whatever reason, acting a plumb fool, all right, treating you all kind of ways and disrespectful, listen, you got to be willing to pull out. I know somebody that had to do that. I know quite a few people who have had to do that, But when you send that message to a guy, he knows that there's nothing he can hold over your head as leverage, all right, to make you think that you're willing to accept anything. No. Because at the end of the day, come in here real close. I want to, you need to hear this. I need you to choose you first. See, the only way that you can be willing to lose a guy in order to keep him is if you choose you first. That's the first part of the equation. Okay. It has to be me before we. Okay. Now, for some of y'all, you're givers, you're born givers, you love to give. That's going to feel foreign. That is going to feel somehow as wrong as a $2 or $3 or $4, $7 bill. Okay? Because you get filled, all right, by giving. It brings you joy. And so oftentimes these are my doormats, all right? I always say to doormats, you're anointed to give, all right? You can give beyond measure. But at the same time, in a relationship, like I said, you dealing with all kind of different characters out here that may not be appreciated, okay? So a lot of times, a lot of you do the opposite. Now, let me share a story with you. Yesterday, I had a group coaching call. It was great. And I have guests that come on the call. So, and I had a guy who was a guest. And hold on, I got something to do here, or my phone's gonna die. I had a guy that was on the call, and one of the things that he shared is that when he was he was dating a young lady, okay, and he really liked her, and they had a long distance thing going. And I say he was getting to the point where he was liking her, and so they talked for several months, and it was very clear that they were really liking each other. So when they finally met up, had a good time, it was cool, whatnot, and so they met a couple of times. When I say met, in terms of from being long distance, so. Of course, most women want to know, hey, where this is going. And so he told her, hey, listen, I just need you to walk with me. Let's just take this slow. Why we rushing and going all fast? There's no need for that. Now, keep in mind, this is after about 6-7 months of talking or so. And so she was like, oh, okay, walk with you. Okay, that's fine. I'll walk with you. And she blocked him on everything. Social media, phone numbers. Now, there was no banner. It was no, hey, listen, well, let me tell you something. If this is what it's going to be. Nope. There was no speech. There was no warning. He just went to, do his normal. He couldn't access her. And so immediately at this time, panic set in. Okay. And he was very vulnerable and candid from the standpoint that he was coming into a situation with a lot of immaturity in some ways, some hurt, some insecurities. And so by him saying, hey, let's just walk through this thing, was him trying to buy some time to I guess not go too fast. So basically can make it more comfortable for him. Didn't work for her. And so now we're talking about choosing you or choosing your me before he or we. And so he had to, first of all, try other means to get a hold of her because, like I said, she blocked him on everything. So first thing he did was he had to find someone that had access to her page because he no longer did. And when he called, he got the message that your call, the person you're call, whatever somebody blocks you, you've been forwarded, or you're the person is unavailable. I don't know what it was, but he was very clear what was going down. And so he found out she was dating other guys. After he was doing the Facebook drive-bys and all that, she was out. When I tell you, she didn't look like she was brokenhearted. She didn't look like she was thinking about him. You know what I'm saying? So this whole lose a guy to keep him, this ain't about you trying to pull away and then see what happens, and just be waiting and looking and going by his Facebook. When I tell you she wasn't going by his Facebook page, she wasn't going by his Instagram, she didn't know. She was done. She decided to choose her over him. So after a few months of, this back and forth for him stalking and trying to see what was going on, he finally was able to reach out to her. And he came clean. He he let her know that he was dealing with a lot of insecurity. He let her know that it was him who was dealing with hurt and whatnot. But she did not make this easy on him. So the only way that you can let a guy back in that type of situation, he has to demonstrate to you, all right, that he is willing, all right, to respect your me before his he, all right, that he's willing, because scripture talks about man laying down his life and all this kind of stuff. Well, how is he supposed to prove that to you if he's giving you all these speeches about, let's take it slow? Now, I understand there's a certain level of taking it slow. I'm not talking about the first day you meet somebody. Let's go out the gate. And a lot of times people do that backwards. They jumping in bed, the night they meet, and they wake up, they don't even know each other's name. I mean, that's that light speed, right? And that's just, yeah. So no, but after you've been a guy a few months, y'all know whether or not he knows if he likes you. God knows if he likes you really seriously after probably a few weeks. He knows if you have that one potential. But there's something that really takes it over the top. And really oftentimes what takes it over the top is that you show him that how much you love yourself, regardless of what he's doing. So by him being willing to come clean, all right, and that's when she was okay with we. After he, all right, respected her me. So now let's just say this. She is definitely his biggest supporter. Oh, this is probably necessary information. They're married. They're married. He's very happy. She's very happy. They're not perfect. They're perfect for each other. Okay. So here's the deal. Whenever you have a situation where the guy is dragging his feet and you're wondering where's this going, and you keep asking and you're just trying to be super patient, 9 times out of 10 your level of patience and sitting there and trying not to ruffle any feathers is going to keep you stuck right there. Okay, because we as men, and I shared this with the group yesterday on the call, that we need something to catapult us. All right, especially if there's fear there, and fear of hurt, because there's got to be something that a greater fear of losing. All right, as it relates to the woman that we're seeing, than the fear of, maybe I'll get hurt and all this kind of stuff. All kind of crazy nonsense goes through a guy's mind, and once we have something else to hunt, because all that fear and all that, those insecurities, that faded off into the background and into the distance. All right. Right after, okay, he had a new immediate goal, and he didn't want to risk losing, because he knew that she was more important than he in her eyes. I'm not going to sacrifice myself, okay, and just hang around. Somebody else out here knows who I am, okay, knows that I am a diamond. If you're too stupid to understand that, and you're too scared to understand that, okay, see, you wouldn't want to be it. And she was gone, for real, for real. Like I said, though, they married today. And a guy will always have that in the back of his mind. She'll leave me, straight up, okay? And that reality right there, hey, listen, I ain't going nowhere. Listen, she gonna have to beat me off with a stick. So, ladies, oftentimes I say that, a lot of you did not get this information. This wasn't given to you. This wasn't sitting around the dinner table conversation for you. And so, because I believe in a perfect world, your dad should have told you this. But we know that this didn't happen. These aren't the conversations oftentimes that you got around the dinner table. So with that being said, now you come out here and you're totally ill prepared. So the idea of choosing you, your me before his he, that's totally foreign to you. And you're like, okay, well, how in the world am I supposed to do that? But fear not, okay? The thing of it is, now that you're getting knowledge, now that you're getting the information, all right, that you didn't get before, all right, you don't have to be in the dark, because the enemy, the enemy is going to play off of the ignorance. Kill, steal, destroy. Kill your dreams. Make sure that you don't have nothing. Make sure that you're totally unhappy. All right. Replay those crazy stories in your head. There ain't no good men out here. It's hopeless. You might as well just forget about it. Just stay alone. Just all kind of crazy things. And as long as you stay in that space, the enemy's happy. He's like, yup, he's laughing at you. But, I read somewhere in my Bible says, I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Okay. And I believe that abundant life means that includes marriage. That includes you being happily married with somebody. But what story are you going to believe? Okay. Are you going to believe the truth? Are you going to believe a lie? Okay. Because depending upon which one you believe, that's going to dictate what you live out. Period. And I believe and I know that you can have that. Okay. You can have marriage. You can be happy. There is a guy out there that's for you. Because here's what a lot of women don't understand. Because, I was at a dinner last night, and conversation came up that, where there's so many more, women than men. But here's the deal. You got to understand. A lot of men will tell you when they meet women that they're not meeting the kind of women that, let me say it this way, because the guy I just told you about that was on the group call, he met women that threw themselves at him all the time. He told the story. I never had to work for anything. I never had to, I didn't have to have game. I didn't have to have any of that, because women just threw themselves at me. Okay. And a lot of you have the sentiment that that's what the game is now, Doc. I'm saying? Women just out here just throwing themselves at guys. Guys ain't got to work. So when they come across me and, they see that for somebody like me, they got to put in something. They ain't willing to do that. I really beg to differ. I do. Because we as men, we like that challenge. Yeah, will they get the low-hanging fruit? A lot of times guys will go after the low-hanging fruit when they haven't been exposed to that nice, beautiful, juicy apple, okay, or that orange that they got, and you can only get from the top of the tree. But once you've had it and then it's removed, like I said, part of what was very important in the story I just told you is he had it, he was exposed to it, then immediately, where he had no say so whatsoever, it was removed from him. He couldn't, you know what I mean? What was he gonna do? He started panicking. Fear set in, okay? The fear of, oh, I've lost it. So he had to go into his cave and do a lot of soul searching. All right, dude, let me tell you, are you willing to lose this over some nonsense BS that you dealing with? I mean, what you gonna do? He had a real coming to Jesus, straight up. So, ladies, because I believe in you, because I know that what you deserve, what I believe and know that you're entitled to. That's why I come out here. That's why I let you know that. I want to be a part of facilitating your process in whatever way I can. For those of you who have listened to this and that you're at a place where you're really not willing to lose him to see if that's going to help you keep him. Get at me. Let's talk about it. This is what I do. Let's talk. Let's have a consult. Free 30-minute consult is free. See where you are. What stage of the game and the process or whatever that you're in, and then I'll put you on a coaching program. We'll work together to get you where you need to be. There is absolutely no reason, no excuse for you to allow the enemy to keep you stuck. Okay, because for a lot of you right now, you are in emotional quicksand. And you feel like the more you move and shake and you try to get out of this thing, the lower you sink. You don't have to. There's a stick. There's somebody sitting there holding like, okay, catch. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, come on. Pull you out. But you have to be willing to reach out and you have to be willing to grab it. So I want to challenge you. Okay, I want to challenge you, but more so I want to encourage you. Okay, reach out. All right, for the help that is there, that God has put in your path to help you. Okay, let he or she that have ears to hear, let you hear. Okay, and not just hear, but act on what you are hearing. All right, listen, I really didn't mean to come out here and, hey, preach a word. That look weird. Okay, so listen, I'm out of here. I hope that you have a good day and be blessed. And I will talk to you later. All right, peace.